Hey everybody, it's time for another Facebook Live. I've been waiting all week to talk to you guys again. I'm excited that you're here. I have got 3 projects today to stamp with you, and they're all ready to go. First, we'll give it just a second to let everybody come online and see who's going to join us. Today is a busy day for me. I did coffee and cards this morning and had a few people visit me at the coffee shop. That was kind of fun. Tonight, I'm super excited about it. We're just going to do family stuff. I've got my boys coming over for dinner. I think I'm going to make tacos or something super easy. But tonight is Santa picture night. And what that means in our house is that everybody in the family, all the boys in the family and boyfriends, girlfriends, anybody else that wants to join gets to come do Santa pictures with us. And I've got Santa pictures from every year since the kids were born. Starts with Aaron at, I guess, about 8 months old. And the requirements are that you have to have Santa pictures. It's just kind of the way it is. So I'm super excited. Someday I will, in fact, I can post the Santa picture next week. Last year's was super stinking fun. We did Santa pictures with, there was 6 boys. And Santa, and they're all old. Aaron's like from 27, and then they ranged down to, it would have been 16 last year. And Santa saw them all coming and kind of went, oh, hell no. And so he sat down, or he got up and had the boys sit down, and Santa sat across their lap. It was hysterical. That's actually on the top of my personal Facebook page, if you want to go look at that. But I'll post Santa pictures from tonight, probably tomorrow. And that'll be fun for everybody to see. All right, let's get started. I apologize. I've got to make a few adjustments on the camera to make it go to my desk. So we'll flip upside down, and then you can see where we're at. Let me see if I can find this on. I can never find it. How do you guys do this? I can never find it live. Please say we're live. I'm not finding it on my Facebook feed. I don't know where it is. Okay, there's last week. That's brilliant. I do not know where it is. I'm assuming that we're live, but we'll just go for it and see what happens. I hate this part of it. It's always a big question of what's happening. So, okay, let's start. And if I have to retape this and we're not live at some point, that's fine too. So let's start with this card. I made this card, and we've got a lot of designer series paper that is just black and white. And I thought it's kind of cool because you can do stuff with it. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's take this, here I'll show you. It's just this black and white paper. I thought, yeah, well, it's okay, but I'd love it to have some color. So here's how we solved that problem. I took the snowflake from, oh, I'm going to forget this. It's colorful, no, not that one. Oh, I know, it was the coffee one, the Coffee Cafe, but the one from the holiday catalog. Does anybody remember what that one's called? So I'm going to take the little snowflake and go, like, pretend you're playing checkers and you're setting up a checkerboard. You're going to go, oops, I missed. We're going to go every other one until I can't count to every other one. You'll figure it out. I almost got it. Okay, so then we've got that. And then we'll pull in the old olive. So what's everybody doing this week? Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving? see, that's where I messed up. Nobody will notice. I'll stick something there. What did I just hear the other day? Somebody say, there's no accidents, there's just room for embellishments. Holy cow, is that ever true? Okay, so we've got that. Now let's take, and I went ahead and die cut this with the oval and the Big Shot. And then this Merry Christmas is from, it's not in the holiday catalog. I'm looking at all my stamp sets up above me, so if I can see it. Oh, Merry Mistletoe. This is from Merry Mistletoe out of the catalog. And this is the scary part about stamping it ahead, or cutting it out ahead of time. I wouldn't advise this, but I didn't want, oh, not too bad. I didn't want you to have to watch me cut it out. Let's start again and go this way a little bit. Better. Okay. And then back from the coffee stamp set, here are leaves. And I just wanted to add a little bit of some other color that matched. We're just going to stamp the leaves. We'll do a little extra stamping right there. And that way this kind of mimics holly, but not, then you don't have to worry too hard about it. Oh, sticky ink, good grief. Okay, so there's that. I still can't see you guys. I wish I could. I wanted to talk to people, but I don't know where this is landing. Not there. Not there. Oh, please tell me I'm posting this on the right page. Let's try again. No, I don't see it there either. Well, we'll figure it out, or I'll figure it out eventually. Adhesive. Okay, so then just let's glue this together real quick. And here's a piece from the scalloped ovals. We'll put that down. It seems like I've been smearing ink lately. I don't know why. Look how cool this paper is on the back. Wouldn't it be fun to stamp something red in the middle of that and make it a different kind of paper or a different design? We'll glue that down. And then I'll take some ribbon. Let's see, scissors. Remember ribbon scissors? Mark your scissors that you want to cut ribbon with, and that way you'll always have sharp scissors. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to tie a bow and talk at the same time. I'll try. Okay, there we go. Yay! This ribbon's really easy to tie a bow with. I don't know what I'm worried about. It isn't very directional or anything. We'll scoot that up where we want it. And let's grab some dimensionals. Okay, you guys know to snip the edges of your dimensionals when you run out of the middle ones, right? Nobody sees the back. So we'll take this and flip it over. Put some dimensionals on that. And this is a super easy card. If you've got designer series paper or just a fun background, let's scoot this over a little bit. You've got a million cards super fast. A package of designer series paper, and you could probably come up with a lot. But there you go. There's a really super fast, really easy card. I like it. Do you guys like it? I don't know. I can't see you. We'll just talk to myself for the rest of the day. Somehow I'm going to figure out this Facebook Live thing. It gives me, I swear to God, it gives me hives every time I go to do it. Something always either feels like it's going wrong or not working right or whatever. And I really should quit complaining. This is kind of a fun way to get to stamp with you guys. And I really like it. I just wish I could figure it out easier. All right, we're going to take that. We're going to make that card next. Excuse me. And again, this is designer series paper. That's black and white. It's that same package. Let me see if I can find it. Losing descriptions of things today in my head. It is Merry Little Christmas designer series paper. And I really like the black and white, but I really kind of thought it needed something else. So I pulled out, this time I pulled out my blends, my Stampin' Blends. And I know this doesn't have any holly or anything in it, but I wanted red and green. So I'm just going to go ahead and color the leaves kind of red and or green. And I want white on this. So I'm trying to get, my idea is to kind of get every other clump either red or green and kind of space it out a little bit. I want to keep some white, so I'm not coloring very carefully, as you can tell. And it looks like can you see? You probably can't. It's like overrun with color. I'm not trying to stay in the lines. I don't even care to stay in the lines. It's not that important. But the reason why I like the blends is because once you've gone out of the lines, it looks like it's going to show, but then the alcohol marker dries so much faster that it doesn't leave a stain, and so you can overcolor and it's not going to hurt anything. Where do I want? Let's do this one green too. The hardest part with this is trying to figure out how to go every other and make it look like you've spaced out the colors. But whatever, there's no one right or wrong answer. And again, I want to leave some white if I can. Do you ever stamp until there's like no white space left and then you think, wow, wait a second, I could have like left a little spot there. This feels like it's the same way. Just go ahead and color as much as you want or as little as you want. But I think that little white kind of makes it pop just a little bit more. It gives it a tiny bit of texture. I know it's weird, but it just feels like it gives it a little bit of texture. Okay. Isn't that pretty? Let me bring in a blank piece or just a black and white piece. Look at the difference. Isn't that fun? I really like coloring, and I like coloring when you don't have to stay in the lines. And this is it. This is what's good about this. Okay, and look at the back. See how it bleeds through? That would almost make pretty background paper as well. So think about what you're doing and maybe sometimes flip it over, and if you like that side better, it's kind of neat. Okay, we're going to mount this on some cherry cobbler, and I cut it just skinny little around the edges, just like that. I just wanted it to poke out a little. And honestly, I'll show you the done one again. I wanted this to not cover up very much of this background paper, so it took me a long time yesterday to figure out what to put in the front to make it not cover up too much of the designer series paper. And then I came up with the, oh, it's going to fly away, the gold thread. And this is kind of neat because it adds some texture, it adds a little bit of shiny, but it doesn't cover up the background. And this I've used like a ton, and it's just now where I can start seeing the spool down underneath. So then we've got the gold. Let me see if I can bring it closer. I don't like not being able to adjust the camera like that, but like I said, someday I'll figure it out. Okay, come on. There it goes. So always make sure with your fast fuse to make a check mark. And then we're going to put this down on a card base. And again, I just cut a tiny edge so that most of what you're seeing is the background paper. And then we'll go ahead and cut and stamp the words. And this is, again, Cherry Cobbler ink pad to match the... Uh-oh. This is an old ink pad. I grabbed it. I hope it's inked. This is one of the really old ones. I don't know if you can tell. This is one of the really woven ones. The nice thing about our ink pads is normally they stay inked for a good long time, and if they don't, you can re-ink them. For a couple bucks, you can get a re-inker, and that makes it really nice. Okay, oh, here it is. I tried to clean up before you guys got here so that I wouldn't have to search too much for things. And then, okay, especially when you've got some of the darker inks, make sure to flip it over and blot it so that you don't smear it. And green. Oh, here, let me just use this. We'll use this with the label punch. And I can still use this card. I'll just put something here and something here so I don't waste it. We'll add this to here. And then dimensionals again. Here's another sheet. Boy, I'm down to the nubs, aren't I? I've got only the edges left. I really do have more. I'm just trying to use up all my scraps. We'll pull this up. Wow, we're going fast today. This is 2 cards in way less than 15 minutes. And there you go. We've got those 2 cards. Okay. Let me put this stuff away. I think I might need this punch again. Let's leave that out just in case. Okay, that's out of the way. Let's do one last project, and we may be done in under a half an hour. Let me bring in our project. This is so fun. This little Santa just cracks me up. And I'll show you why I designed this. It's just a cellophane bag with some candies inside and then a topper. I really like doing this kind of stuff. Candy's pretty inexpensive. Other than I'm related to every diabetic on the planet, candy makes a really cute and inexpensive gift for office or school. Things like that. Downline, upline, customers, if you're a demonstrator, anything like that. I love doing this. When the kids were little, when we did classroom gifts, we do 100 at a time, and I take mine to preschool where I used to teach, and the kids would each take about 25 to their classrooms, and that was kind of cool. So we'd sit down on a Sunday and either make 100 Valentines or Christmas cards or candy containers, something like that. And that was always really fun. So I'm always looking for super, super fast ideas that are inexpensive. I mean, when you're given 100 gifts at a time, you want them to be pretty inexpensive. So, okay, we're going to start with a cellophane bag, and this is a 3x6. Let me double check. Yep, 3x6. So I cut my piece of paper 3x8. And on any other piece of paper, this would be fine. But don't flip it this way and then bend it back over. Your trees will be upside down. So we're going to use it this direction. In fact, my sister pointed out when I was making those bags last week, she messaged me and said, your paper is upside down. It's like, you know, you kind of have to deal with it depending upon what you're making. But this time I'm not putting the trees upside down. You know what? This is a teeny bit snug. So let me come in here. I'm going to cut this down by like just a little tiny bit, because I don't want to fight with trying to stuff it in that bag. Okay, better, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down in the back, just like that. And then this, you just hand fold it where it goes to the top of the bag. Bone folder would help, but this is fine. Let's go ahead and get this all ready, and then we'll put the topper on it in a second. So let's stuff it with candy. And then this, oh, you know what? I pulled my stapler off of my desk to staple tags on catalogs. So I don't think I have, nope, I don't have a stapler sitting next to me. So this gets stapled just like that. Here, let's tack it down with some fast fuse just so you can see what it looks like, but I'd staple it right there to get it good and snug. All right, let's put that aside. And where's my sample? Let's look at what we're gonna do to get the Santa done. All right, so on a scrap piece of paper, and I can use the same one I used just a second ago, we're gonna stamp, I know this sounds weird, but you're gonna stamp the hat first, and I'll show you why. So when this is called masking, and when you're masking, you want to think foreground first. And that's just the easiest. I always have to say it like that, otherwise I forget what I'm doing. So we're going to take the detailed stamp, the outline, and we're going to stamp the hat. Now we'll come back in with the filler and stamp right down over the top of that with the red. Holy cow, did you see that? I got it perfect. I mean, didn't expect not to get it perfect, but holy cow, that couldn't have been more perfect. All right, let me find, now you got me all distracted. Where did my Santa mask go? Does anybody see it? Like, seriously, does anybody see it? Let me see if it's still in the bucket. I had it. So what you're going to do, well, let's make another one, and I'll show you how. So you're going to take and stamp the Santa hat again on the top part of a Post-it note. And then you're going to take not your ribbon scissors, but another pair of scissors. And I don't need anything but this edge right here. Okay. I just saw that darn Santa mask a second ago. So I'm going to cut this, stick this down right like that. And then I'm going to stamp the Santa. And I'm going to look down through, and that's why I really like these polymer stamps. I'm going to look down through here and aim it to where the hat comes down over his head. And stamp that. And do you see where his head would have gone into that hat area? And then I'm going to peel off the mask. Ta-da! And now the hat is on his head instead of his head showing through, if that makes any sense at all. Anyway, just think foreground first. If you can think foreground first, especially when you're doing scenery and stuff. Okay, let's see if I can get this down just as good as the hat. Not too bad. All right, so I've got that. I've got a puppy outside my door wanting to get in. She'll have to wait. My snickerdoodle dog. And I've got one up under my feet right now too. She's being a very good girl. All right, so I'm going to stamp the words, and this says, "Have a Jolly Christmas." And I'm going to overlap. I want to cut this out with a circle punch, so I'm going to overlap the words onto Santa, just so I've got enough room with the circle punch. And this is, what did I do? The 1 3/4. Okay, so I've got the 1 3/4. And the cool thing about this is you don't have to go in and make it be upright. And I know it cuts them off, and I know that bothers you or some people. If that does bug you, just go ahead and use a little bit bigger punch. You'll just have a little bit bigger a bigger area to cover up. Okay, so flip this over, make sure all the ink is soaked in. Oh, look, hello, there he is. But I had the wrong end. I needed the hat anyway. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so we've got that. Let's do the next size up, which is the 2-inch. And the next size up from that is the 2 1/4. I almost said 2 1/2, and that didn't sound right. Okay, so we've got that stuck to there, and that stuck to here. And then we'll do dimensionals. I've used dimensionals on every project today. We're going to put dimensionals here. And then to make it fancy, we'll go ahead and use the doilies. Look how pretty these are. I need to get to using these. I think that's what I'll do with all the rest of my doilies, is make these little goodie bags for party favors. So they come in silver and gold. Was Silver and Gold the song for Rudolph? Did anybody watch Rudolph last night? I watched it. I made all the kids go away. They're older. They're adults. I made all my kids go away so I could watch Rudolph. Anyway, Silver and Gold, that's what I was referring to. The song Silver and Gold, and I think it's on Rudolph. Or Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I always get them mixed up. They're my two favorite. Anyway, whatever. Snowflakes, that's what I started to tell you about. And then we got sidetracked, or I got sidetracked on Rudolph. Okay, so now look at how pretty that is. We'll take our container, and you just have to be super careful when you're putting adhesive on the back of the doilies, because they will tear. They're pretty delicate. They're tough, but if you pull the fast fuse off to the side too much, it will tear it. Okay, and that is our Santa container. The reason I like doing containers like this, here's a silver and a gold. I don't know if you can see the difference on camera or not. And again, I would staple this down so it isn't so poofy, but it works just like that too. The reason I love doing this configuration on your designer, or with your designer series paper, is that you can see both sides of the paper. Have you ever stamped something and then put down the paper from your designer series paper and thought, you know, I really don't want to hide that one. I want the other side to show as well. I like designing things where both sides can show. And that's what I love about this, is you can see that side. And then if you look inside the cellophane, you can see the Christmas trees. And yes, Sherry, if you're watching, all the trees are right side up. I folded it the correct way this time. And there you have it. There are my two Santa favors. Let's pull in the ones we just did. Boy, I got rid of those fast enough, didn't I? I don't know what's on or off camera at this point, but I'll bring those in and you can kind of see those. And there's my other Merry Christmas. Okay, that was fast. We did 3 projects in well under 25 minutes. So if you wanted to mass produce these for Christmas, you've got plenty of time to do these projects. How about next week we do tags? Remind me, and we'll do some Christmas tags next week. And then, because that's about, we're getting down to the point where your Christmas card should hopefully already be done. And we'll do some even faster projects next time. So remind me, and we'll do Christmas tags. I've also got a list of things that I want to tell you about. Don't forget, if you want to place an order, go to my blog at SusanLeggetts.com. And the November hostess code is this one right here. And holy cow, can anybody believe that November is already almost over? That's insane. It was July about a minute ago. And all of a sudden it's almost December. I'm wearing flip-flops. I'm in Albuquerque, and I'm still wearing flip-flops and like leggings. So it kind of feels like July. No, it doesn't. It's not 90 degrees. It's about 60-ish, 65. But anyway, I can't believe it's already December. I will post a December hostess code on my blog on the 1st. Don't forget to please, if this really does post, or if I can post it later, please share and like and comment on this post. I will also post it to YouTube as well, so that you guys can see it later. And I will post it on my blog as well. I'll start a video library there. I wanted to tell you guys about a stamp camp I'm planning right now. I'm going to do a stamp camp on February 3rd from 9 to 2 here at my house in Albuquerque. It's going to be $60, and it's going to include $50 worth of product. I'm going to kind of change it up from how we used to do stamp camps, and I'm going to do it at the house so that I know I don't have to schedule anything with anybody or arrange dates. I know it's available. The venue is available. And I will post details on my website, opportunities for the project sheets if you can't attend, or if you're a demonstrator and you just want to know how to hold a stamp camp. I'm going to post those ideas on there. And then I'm also going to offer a retreat to go, so that if you can't attend, I will mail you everything in the mail, and you can make all the projects that you would have made had you been here live. So thank you for stamping with me today. I will go back and read comments and watch for any information that you need. I will respond to those as soon as I can find this on the Facebook feed. And I appreciate you being with me. If you're watching this not live, spread this around to your friends. Like I said, share and like it and comment on it, and I will respond to your comments as soon as I can. Thanks, and have a super great day. We will talk to you next Wednesday at 2 o'clock. Thanks.